if I were to get some liquid nitrogen and put my hand in it, how long would it take before my hand would freeze?
Was this already?
So, this is the end of the week in Germany, and so I've now got an array of all sorts of interesting things, which I'm just going to do some fun stuff with. So this black, evil looking liquid here is actually copper bromide, and that dark colour really screwed us over, because what we were looking for was actually explosions in the solution. Go in, let's get top. Oh! This is even good.
That's right. I'll just pick it up.
Whoa! Whoa! My God, look at this! Look at this! Of course, you can't see through it. That's no good, and we need a nice concentrated solution like that. But this is the interesting thing about things like copper bromide, is if you dilute them a little, they change colour to green and that. And if I remember rightly, I think they get blue if you dilute them a little more, which is kind of fun. Anyway, so that's copper bromide. Up next, a question that has dogged mankind for centuries is, if I were to get some liquid nitrogen and put my hand in it, how long would it take before my hand would freeze? So, first of all, I'm going to need some liquid nitrogen. So, now, liquid nitrogen is mostly harmless. So that's the liquid ammonia we've been using all week. And that is the nitrogen, and I need a refill. So, glove again. It's just liquid nitrogen. Good. So as you can see, the metal gets really cold, and you get some really quite nasty burns off the metal. The liquid nitrogen, however, you can sort of move your finger around quite easily. I'm not going to keep it there for too long. But comes the real question: if I were to fill that thing there with liquid nitrogen, how long could I put my hand in before it freezes absolutely solid? So for this, I will need one extra thing. My knife, kitty poker. Also, called sodium cutter. So, in science we'll quite often use things, we'll use proxies. So rather than actually sticking my hands in there, I'm going to use something that's about the same texture as my hand. And since I'm in Germany, I'm going to use these sausages. Right, and we will see how long that takes to freeze solid. Right, in the first instance, I'm just going to put some liquid nitrogen in here, just cool it down a little. Okay, I didn't quite expect that. Oh, the joy of science. Okay, important safety hint. The Perspex does not hold cold things very well. Didn't expect that at all. Oh well, out in the big city. Right, so we'll go to plan B. We'll use the little thermos thing that I've been using all week. That's not quite pretty, but yeah, general idea. Oh, we could use a glass. Glass would be okay. So this has got a solid base on it as well. That's not correct. Well, let's see, we'll need hand between glass. So I've got some methanol. Methanol is very good for cleaning frost off stuff, especially if you want to be able to see through afterwards. I'll have to this time left in a face shield, because flying glass is much more of a problem Then flying perspex. Now this will flop like a son of a bitch because that's the methanol vapor condensing to begin with. Methanol is quite entertaining. It gives much thicker vapor than water. So once that's more or less down to it. Okay. Important safety lesson mark 2. Glass. It's more to the point, thick glass doesn't take liquid nitrogen very well. Okay. So, that's liquid nitrogen in a very cracked glass. Okay, I'm just going to do what I can. So we now have some methanol in a wash bottle. Now the reason this is great is because you can now just clean off the frost. Doesn't actually help that much. But, okay, so now we have liquid nitrogen in a glass. Oh, he's leaking. Not much. Actually, I'm going to call it quits on that one. Let's try. So the real problem is, there we go. Right, I'm going to use this for a little demo. This is now one destroyed glass. If I put a little methanol in there, methanol is absolutely fantastic for this sort of stuff. So, it should just be the vapor as well. So, I should be able to just pour vapor in there. No? There we go. Methanol vapor condenses much better. Cool, eh? Anyway, so that didn't work too well. So let's move him out of the way. Let's try one last attempt with glass. All that we need. Okay. Right. Let's see if the thin wall. So I think what was mostly responsible for cracking the other one was the fact that it was a thick wall. And so with a thick wall, you're contracting the top but not the bottom, and that's what stresses the glass and causes it to crack. So here we have a thin wall conical glass, and also going to try and fill up with liquid nitrogen, which thus far seems to be a lot more successful. Okay, now let's get into the sausages. Okay, one sausage, and let's give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and it's only slightly cold to the touch. Let me get the infrared thermometer on it. And the infrared thermometer says, this one, isn't it? Oh, it's down to about 14 degrees. So 5 seconds only gets you down to about 14 degrees. So let's go in again. It's going to 10 seconds this time. 10. Now, okay, slightly, still soft to the touch, and now the temperature is down to 2 degrees. So let's reset that again. I'm going to use the other end. Reset. Let's go in for 20 seconds this time. Sausage in liquid nitrogen. Oh, I can feel it's hardening. 15, oh, this is going to be cold. Okay, 20 seconds. Now, it's frozen on the outside. Temperature's only -4. -2, -4, that sort of thing. So, it's frozen just about on the outside. So, this one is now 4 degrees on the outside. Another one. Okay, 16 degrees on the outside. Let's put them in volts. Oh, feeling hardening up. 30 seconds, I think. So it's not actually, you probably have your fingers in there for quite a long time. It'll burn on the outside, but okay, so that's 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, we're now down to -10. Let's try it that way. Oh, that's more like it. -48 on the outside. So, and it's frozen. Yeah, it's now frozen. It's frozen 5 millimeters. The center is still soft after 30 seconds. So, let's fill it back up again. Foam. Perfect. Right. So that's now at 11 degrees on that end. Bye bye, Mr. Sausage. Let's leave him in for a full minute. So when it gets down to liquid nitrogen temperatures, you'll be able to tell because it'll stop boiling around the sausage. And this is going to be, I think, this will only be down to about -50. I think we're going to be well off the bottom here. Okay, 1 minute. And the sausage reads... no, it's off the bottom. It's lower than -50 in the sausage. You can see where it's frozen. And if I try and chop it, now it's now completely frozen all the way through the point where it says it's only -23, but that's still pretty bloody cold. It's like Siberian winter cold. Okay, so that's freezing sausages in liquid nitrogen. Okay, so here I have 2 clocks. One runs on clockwork, and the other is digital. It's got an liquid crystal display, and it runs on batteries. So the question, which one of these will stop working first if I were to dunk them in liquid nitrogen? Now, originally I hadn't intended to use the Perspex box, but unfortunately that was somewhat destroyed. So, what I'm going to use instead is this, which is the little baby, very improvised thermos flask we've been using all week. So what I'll do is I'll dunk that in like that, and then I'll dunk that one in like that, and we'll see which one stops working first. Now would be the time, if you feel brave, to actually put your bet on which one will stop working first. So this can stop working on a number of grounds. When it actually fills up with liquid inside, that viscosity can stop the clockwork from moving. When it gets very cold, the springs will change their physical properties and there won't be spring anymore, so that will stop it. Or with this, you've got all sorts of things that can go wrong with this. The integrated electronics can stop working when they get very cold. The battery voltage will change when it gets very cold, and the liquid crystal, it's liquid of course, won't be liquid for much longer. And I've got no idea what happens when liquid crystals like this freeze. Do they just go black? Do they just stop moving? Or, and even more importantly, do they start working again when they defrost? Even more entertaining, this guy's actually got a temperature on it, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, so I'm going to fill that up with liquid nitrogen and we're going to dunk these and see what happens.